is Desiree Martinez, and today I will be presenting an informational speech for y'all following a PowerPoint. Now, everyone uses the restroom every day, almost more than once a day. And have y'all ever thought about where the water goes after the toilet is being flushed? Or when the dishes, after the dishes are being washed? Or even after a load of laundry? All water ends up at your local wastewater plant, where it's cleaned and treated before returned to the environment. I know, it's kind of a silly topic to talk about. Unless we all stop using our restrooms, wastewater plants will always be needed. Therefore, they are significant due to the fact that they prevent waste from polluting the environment. Now today I will be discussing how the wastewater plant works, the advantages and disadvantages they have. Now, how does it work? Well, the first phase we have is the pre-treatment phase. The water flows through the gravel chamber to settle out the grit from the water. And then the gravel is then disposed. Water then reaches bar screens to remove the large objects. So first you have coarse screens and then you have fine screens. Like gravel chambers, grit chambers allow the settlement of grit. Then it is disposed. We can't reuse grit or gravel because of the high levels of contamination. Then we have our primary phase. In this stage, the wastewater flows to primary settling tanks. Gravity allows smaller particles to settle out, and mechanically driven scrapers collect solid matter and direct it to the hoppers connected to sludge-treated equipment. So if oil or grease isn't removed in the pre-treatment phase, then it will be with the surface skimmers in the primary phase. Then we follow on to a secondary phase, which is also known as the biological phase. This is based on natural processes. Stated by Sciencing.com Eric Bank on April 24, 2017, plants aerate and agitate wastewater in secondary basins, adding beneficial microorganisms to break down organic matter into what's called sludge. Dead bacteria and organic residues transform into what is known as sludge. Excess sludge is then pumped out and moved before settling tanks. And then our final phase is known as the sludge phase. This is treating the remaining water and sludge. Gravity separates the organic waste from heavier grit that can be placed in landfill. Remaining sludge passes to a thickener. It's then poured into digestion tanks with anaerobic bacteria. Tanks produce what is called methane that can power the plant. Stabilized sludge can be deodorized and plowed into soil and then be used as fertilizer. Remaining wastewater is treated to remove nutrients, disinfected with chlorine, ozone, or UV lights, and they can be returned to the water supply, like creeks, lakes, or etc. Now that we talked about how the wastewater plant operation works, we are now going to move on to the advantages of it. The advantages of a wastewater plant mainly consist of protecting our environment, like eliminating potential diseases. Published in August 24th, 2014, Carlo Tank's IE News blog explains that they filter out such contaminants before the wastewater leaves the tank and touches the ground. Filtering process prevents diseases from reaching water sources or plants and animals. And then you have low cost to city budgets. The wastewater treatment plant can last up to 15 years if maintained correctly, and they provide a cost-effective means of treating the water. And then we also have repurposing the water and protecting the environment. The wastewater treatment plant are able to refine and filter water until usable again. So therefore, there are no worries that water shortages due to the method of the filtration. So now that we talked about some of the advantages, there comes Disadvantages. The wastewater treatment plant uses chemicals in most of their treatment stations, and if they're not used correctly, they could impact the environment, like chlorine disinfection. Chlorine is a very toxic agent. Mostly chlorine is known to clean and shock pools. So it is quite volatile, also known maybe as inflammable. And if not handled correctly, it can cause harm to people, animals, and aquatic life. And we also have UV disinfection. According to GenesisWaterTech.com, on April 16, 2019, low doses can be ineffective against some viruses, specks, and cysts. And then it can also have disadvantages to danger to workers. They can be exposed to H2 gases, and they could also have a possible danger of drowning. H2 gases are very harmful to people as they contain a lot of chemicals. And now to sum everything up, wastewater treatment is beneficial not only for the environment, but for the community, and help purify the water and keep them from being polluted. We learn to think and appreciate our wastewater treatment plants as they help clean and protect our environment and communities.